I'm Erica Tanaka, and this is my speech about Jesus' parable. This is my audience, all of which are over 18. In the year 1960, the state of Louisiana issued that all the public school systems were to integrate with black and white children. Among the black students that were to move into the new white school, all of them had dropped out except for one girl named Ruby. Ruby was to enter the first grade, and after much argument amongst her parents, they finally decided to let her go. On Ruby's first day of first grade, she was escorted from her house by a fire marshal and her mother. Around her, the whole way to school, was an angry mob yelling at her and hissing at her and saying horrible things because they did not believe that white people and black people should integrate or be together. Ruby recalls in her memoirs that the worst thing she ever witnessed was somebody holding up a black baby doll in a coffin while she walked to her first grade classroom. Now, Ruby's family was a family of faith, and her mother told her every day on their car ride, "Ruby, your prayer is your protection." And Ruby would pray every single morning in the car on the way to school. But one morning, when her mother was not there, Ruby forgot to pray in the car. So after her car ride, she was being walked up the steps with all these people who hated her and saying scornful, wicked things to her, hissing at her and spitting on her. Ruby turned around and started talking to the audience. When she got back inside, her first grade teacher took her hand and said, "Ruby, what were you saying to your audience, or to the crowd today?" And she said, "Well, my mom told me to always pray. And I forgot to pray in the car that morning, so I was saying my prayers to everybody. And I said, 'Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing.'" Now put that on pause. We're going to go back a little further. Jesus is talking to his disciples and to a large audience. He's telling them the parable of the mustard seed. Now, if anybody here has seen a mustard seed, you know it's not any bigger than maybe the thickness of your thumbnail. What Jesus tells his audience is that the kingdom of heaven is like the mustard seed. This tiny little seed. He said it is the smallest amongst all of your seeds and all of your plants. But when you plant it, the mustard seed grows the largest tree with the most fruit. And the most animals come to it to find shelter and protection. Now, we're going to bring these two together. Ruby Bridges was a little girl, was a child, a female, and she was black in an ignorant world who did not approve of her, who hated on her, who discriminated against her. Yet, she found the strength every day to go into that school and pray for the people who spat on her. The kingdom of God, we are not promised an easy life as Christ followers. God doesn't ever say that anybody's going to be supportive of what we're doing. But he does say that if you stick through it, that the kingdom of heaven has the richest rewards. And if a little black girl from Louisiana who's being spat on and being pictured in a coffin amongst her surroundings, why can't we get the strength to get up every day and preach about God? God promises it's not going to be easy, but he also promises that he will never leave us, and he will never give us anything more than we can handle. For he will never leave us or forsake us.